Hey everyone, welcome to Hammerhead Hobbies. Now believe it or not, this is all the same color. I'm going to show you how your primer or base coat can affect the outcome of your final color. Alright, welcome back. We're just going to start off with this light gray sprue. It's a wing from a biplane. What I'll do is I'll leave it gray on the middle, and then I'll primer it two different colors on the sides, and then let it dry and show you what it looks like. Now we're going to let the primer dry. We'll be right back to give it its final coat. Okay, welcome back. The primer has dried. So as you can see here, we have three different colors. So we got the white, the stock gray sprue, and a black primer. We're going to start off painting with a red color. So this is the first very light coat, and as you can see, the black is still black, the gray is darker, and the white primer is a little lighter red. So we're going to let that dry for a couple minutes and give it a second coat. Okay, so that has dried for a couple minutes. Now I'm going to give it another coat. Okay, this is the second coat, and as you can see, it has evened out a little more. So that's the white primer, that's the light gray sprue, and that's the black primer. And as you can see on the black primer, it doesn't really show very much. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, give it a third coat. And again, I'm giving it very light coats. I know some people are in a rush and give it one big thick coat, but sometimes what happens is it blotches or runs. If you have fine details, the thin coats are much better than the thick coat. Okay, so I let this dry for a few minutes, and as you can see, there's still a color difference between the white primer, the light gray sprue, and the black primer. So I'm going to go ahead and give it the fourth coat. This might be my final coat depending on how it looks. Okay, so that's 4 light coats. That's plenty of paint for any model. And as you can see, the huge difference between the black primer, the gray sprue, and the white primer. Now the gray sprue, I could have primed it gray, which I do have a gray primer, but it will give you the exact same results. Now I went ahead and painted the other side with the same thing. So I do have the black primer, the gray sprue, and the white primer. And I'm going to go ahead and use a different color and even a different manufacturer of paint. So this is the Vallejo interior green. Okay, just so you don't think it's a certain paint that does that, I'll use this paint. Okay, that's the first light coat. And as you can see, there is a definite difference, even with the green and a different paint. So I'll let that dry, and I'll go ahead and give it a second coat. Okay, now I'm going to apply a second coat. Okay, so that's the second coat, and as you can see, it is evening out a little bit, especially from the white to the gray. The black is still a very dark green now, and this is a little bit dark, less dark, and this is the lightest of the greens. I'll let that dry and give it a third coat. Okay, now I'm going to start applying the third coat. I'm going to go a little heavier on this coat, just to show you that it doesn't matter how much paint you put down, you will still have the color difference. Okay, so this is the third coat, and I did put a bit of a heavier coat on it. I'm not sure if you can pick that up. This still has a few light spots in it. This one's more uniform and a little darker, and obviously where the black primer was, it's a darker green from there. So you can see it does even out. The more coats you put on, it does even out. Again, this is 3 coats of a darker color also, so the darker colors do blend in faster than the lighter colors. So if you were to do a dark green, it would be more uniform after 2 passes. If you were to do a light gray, it would probably take you about 4 or 5, maybe 6 passes to get it a little more uniform. But in the meantime, I mean, you would just rather primer the whole model one color first, and then start your final coat or paint. Okay, I'm going to go give it the 4th coat, and you'll see how even it is now. Okay, that's the 4th and final coat I'm going to be doing. And as you can see, where the white and the gray are virtually blended together now, and where the black primer was, it's still a little darker than the rest of the wing, but it is blending together a lot better than the, and I'll flip it over to the red side, which is a brighter color. Okay, and again, the lighter and brighter colors tend to show more than the darker colors. So I hope you found this helpful. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.